Together with the sports bitch, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Earle, and it's just going to be yours truly today. We got a big slate in the NHL to go over. We got a lot of college basketball games. I'll have my college basketball spreadsheet up for people who are going to ask questions about those games. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday. And there wasn't a show yesterday, so we'll look back at 2 days ago as well. One went right, one went wrong in the world of sports betting. Yesterday was pretty simple. It was two plays, both in college basketball, which is why we didn't have a show yesterday, because I didn't bet that Carolina game officially. I had a small bet on Vejmelka saves with Nature's shots, which neither got there, so that was fun. But I had two plays in college basketball. St. Peter's minus 9.5 was a winner, and Columbia minus 9 was a winner. So perfect 2-0 sweep in college basketball yesterday, up a unit. College basketball only half a unit each for me because of the volume we do bet at when it comes to college basketball. So nice little double winner there last night. And then on the 15th, I had a solid day 8-7 up 2.15 units. College basketball went 4-4 up 0.48 units. Lost with Charlotte minus 13, but we won with Long Island plus 5. Lost the money line though. Santa Clara minus 16 was a winner. San Diego minus 5.5 was a winner. Utah plus 2, Utah plus 110, both lose. They lose by 4 in that game. St. Mary's Gales, I believe, won by 40 something in that game there. So an easy winner on that one. And then in the NHL went 4-3 on that was Thursday. I had the Kings plus 107. That was a winner. The team total did not get there. They had 4.11 expected goals. Nico Dawes was great that game, which is frustrating. The Flyers come all the way back, force overtime just to lose in overtime. The Lightning got the job done. Minus 117 winner there. St. Louis is a home dog. It's just bet on for me. Plus 160 winner over the Edmonton Oilers. Blackhawks plus 190. I bet that anticipating Peter Mrazek that game, and I did not. And obviously it was Soderbaum, which pissed me off. And then Sharks plus 2 at the end of the night was a winner. I should have just gone full out money line because they end up winning that game 6-3. So big card today. I've already moved on a ton of college basketball, which starts in about an hour and a half, where we rock with Alabama and Wake Forest. But I've only moved on 4 hockey games so far. And the earliest one I moved on, I believe, was a 4:00 game. So I haven't moved on any of the early games so far yet, which we have a game starting in 2 hours. And see, we have no chat. We'll get right into it here. We have the Boston Bruins. They're taking on the LA Kings. Minus 160 for the Bruins. Total 5.5 in this game. Let's get up. Where is there's my line histories. Come on. I don't care about basketball. I mean, I don't need to bet the freaking skills competitions in basketball. No, thank you. Give me the actual hockey games going on. So I just got to adjust my line histories and so we can get that up. Super prepared. But there we go. It finally loaded. All right. On Bet Online, the Bruins open up at a 155. It's up down to a minus 150. So we've had a slight move towards the LA Kings in this game. Line opened up at a 5.5 at minus 108. Still a 5.5 at minus 108. So no line movement on the total. Just a small move towards the Kings on the side. 67% of the tickets, 96% of the cash is coming in on the Bruins. 4,279 tickets in. 52% of the tickets and 65% of cash on the under in this spot here. My projections for this game, I have this game projected at 5.5. I thought this total is about right. And I actually have the Bruins projected around minus 180 in this game. I don't like the way the line's moving, but I mean, when it comes to the NHL, I really don't care about how the line is moving. I see value on Boston here, which I didn't think I'd be saying. I thought I was going to be looking the other way in this game. But it's up to a minus one. It's a minus 165. So I have a slight bit of value here. What would the minus one line be on Bovada here? Where it'd be 165 and 153. 165 plus 153. Minus 105 for Boston minus one. I would lean in that direction. I have this game, I have them projected around, actually, it'd be more around minus 170 favorites in this game. So a slight bit of value, slight lean towards Boston minus one. No look on the total in this game and not getting involved. The Boston Bruins have really been struggling as of late. I believe they lost 5 in a row heading into this game. They've really struggled. 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5. That's what it was. They lost 4-1 to Seattle. They lost 3-2 to Tampa. They lost 3-0 to the Capitals after beating the Canucks 4-0, but losing to the Flames 4-1 since the All-Star break. So they've not come out of the All-Star break well. Other than the 4 goals against Vancouver, it's been 1-0, 2-1. So they've struggled offensively here. I think this 5.5 number is correct. If this was a 6, maybe I'd lean towards an under. But you don't got to bet every game just because it's the 12:30 game. I'll have other games going on. No need to get involved in this one. Lean Boston minus one for those who need action, but I'm not going to be betting it there. King me. Yeah, I wanted to make an argument for the Kings, but we'll see. My numbers like the Bruins there a little bit. Under 5.5. I have that game projected at exactly a 5.5. So it is what it is. Situationally, this would be a great spot for this is a spot for situational handicappers. The Dallas Stars are taking on the Edmonton Oilers in this next matchup here. The Stars are minus 120 favorites in this game with a total of 6.5. Now, this line opened up with Dallas as minus 115, got down to a minus 101. It's now a minus 120. So we've had a slight move towards the Stars. And this line opened up at a 135 for the over 6.5. It's at 134 now. So we've had a move, slight 1 cent line movement towards the under. 97% of the tickets, 92% cash on the over. 3,500 tickets in. 50% of the tickets, 71% of the cash is on the Stars in this one as well, which explains the line movement towards the Stars. And my numbers have the Stars around a minus 110 favorite in this game. So I understand why the line is the way it is. It's another game where it just doesn't grade out particularly well for me. I have Ottinger and Calvin Pickard in net for this game. I wanted to back the Stars, but situationally, this is a good Oilers spot. So, I mean, the Oilers are coming in off of a loss against the St. Louis Blues, and the Dallas Stars are coming in off of their biggest win of the year, that 9-2 win over the that 9-2 win over Nashville, where they basically anything they shot at the goal went in. I would only be leaning Edmonton situationally, but it's not a game I'm going to be getting to here. Morning ESB. I cashed out on 2 3-team parlays. There you go. Hell yeah. Had Liverpool money line and Arsenal minus 1.5. There you go. The Sockers. We'll keep on moving on here in this game for this game here. This one's a tricky one. We have the Chicago Blackhawks hosting the Ottawa Senators. The Sens minus 186 road favorites in this game. Line opened up at a 165. It's up to a 186. So it's been a big move towards Ottawa. I don't think I 100% agree with that in this game. And then on the total wise, it opened up at a plus 105 for the 6.5. It's now a plus 104. And what's crazy is for this game, and I get it, they're playing the Senators, but we're seeing a 6.5 in this game, something we have not seen too much recently when it comes to Blackhawk games. The last time we saw that, they played Edmonton. The game finished 3-0. I would lean under 6.5 in this game. 6.5 would be a lean towards the under here. Ottawa's been playing well, and then they had their 4-game winning streak snapped at home against Anaheim as minus 215 favorites in that game. They lost 5-1, so maybe we have a motivated Ottawa team. Yeah. The Blackhawks are back on their tanking ways. They've lost 8 games in a row. They lost 4-1 in their last game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've now failed to cover the puck line in back-to-back home games after being able to do it for a decent amount of home games in a row. Do we see them potentially be able to cover this puck line here? I have no interest in the Ottawa Senators at this number. And at minus 155, I don't have interest in the plus 1.5 puck line. No. Plus 163 with the Blackhawks would be the only place I can lean. I mean, we're going to be laying $1.85, $1.90 range. It's $1.90 on about $1.90 on a team that's 7-13 away from home. I get it. The Blackhawks are not a good team, and Ottawa's coming in off of a bad loss. But I mean, I see this as a game where you just can't trust. This is a price play for me. You can't trust Ottawa as a minus 190 favorite on the road. So I'm going to be on the Blackhawks. Blackhawks plus 163 for me in this spot. Not trusting the Sens as minus 190 favorites. Also, you look at the head-to-head meetings between these teams the last 10 games. 5-0, 4-3, 6-3, 5-1, 3-2, 8-7, 4-3, 3-2, 8-2, 2-1. I didn't say who won those games because the Blackhawks have won every single one of them, including the last two as $2 dogs against these Senators. So I'll look for them to continue that here. Give me the Blackhawks here plus 163 to start off my hockey card. Yeah. Nathan, the Dogs have been cashing the minus 1.5. Atletico and Liverpool. There you go. Blackhawks, yeah. Bruins, I lean Bruins. Hasn't the Blackhawks been dominating the Senators? Yes, they've won at least the last 10 meetings here. That's what I'm seeing on covers. Sens, I can't trust the Sens at this price. I absolutely can't, especially with Korpisalo on the road. We'll move on to the first play that I've actually bet on this card. I bet this game last night. I did this game for a free pick video for picks and parlays. We have the Detroit Red Wings taking on the Calgary Flames. We have the Calgary Flames around minus 130, minus 135 favorites in this game with a total of 6.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where it opened up at a 140, got all the way down to a 118, and it's come back up to a 133. So we've had a slight move towards Detroit, but that line move happened within the first hour where it went all the way down to within the first 2 hours where it went all the way down to 118, and it's come back since. Line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 116. It's now a 6.5 at minus 107. So we've had a line movement here towards the under in this game, as well as a slight move towards the Red Wings. I disagree with that line move, but 31% of the tickets and 57% of the cash is on these Calgary Flames. So we have the bigger bets coming in on the Flames. The line has moved back towards the Flames since it hit the minus 118. I'm guessing that's when the Flames got hit the most. 71% of the tickets, 97% of the cash is on the over. 3,500 tickets, 3,592 tickets in. I already moved on this game last night. I got the Flames at minus 130. It's James Reimer in net for the Detroit Red Wings, and I'm projecting Jacob Markstrom. Even if it's not Jacob Markstrom, I don't mind Wolf or Vladar in this matchup against Reimer. Reimer is one of the worst graded goaltenders, I think, in hockey at the moment. He hasn't played much, and he hasn't played in a hot minute. So this is a game where I like Calgary. They're coming in off of that embarrassing loss, 6-3 against the Sharks, which wasn't a great spot for them. It was their first game back after a 4-game East Coast road trip to kick off after the All-Star break. So it was not the greatest situationally. Now they've had a couple days to settle at home, and Detroit's continuing their way through this Pacific Northwest, Canada, and then they finish with Seattle on the 19th. So this is their third of 4 games in the Western Canada road trip. So I like Calgary in the spot. I got him at $1.30. If you don't want to lay the juice, you can probably get around plus 120, plus 125 for the -1 line for the Calgary. I don't hate that either. I think Calgary takes care of business in this game. I'm on the Flames laying the -130 in this one. Red Wings money line. I'm told they're a playoff team. They're a fringe team. They are a fringe playoff team. I probably would still take a couple teams over them that are currently not in the playoffs. But they're a fringe team. They very well could make the playoffs this year. Very well could. Flames puck line. If the Sharks can beat the Flames, the Red Wings can. I think this is the bounce back spot for the Flames. So I'd have to disagree with that there. We'll move on. Another game that I've already bet pre-show. This one here, we have the Buffalo Sabres and the Minnesota Wild. -140 for the Sabres, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here between Buffalo and Minnesota, where this line opened up with the Wild as -143 favorites. It's down to a 135 now, I'm starting to see. And the line opened up at a 125 for the over, -125, now it's -124 for the over 6. Taking a look at the cash flow in this game here, we have on the money line 48% of the tickets and 52% of the tickets and 54% of the cash is on the Wild. The line's moving slightly towards the Sabres, so the market's really not concerned over it. It's not a huge number, so it's not really like that crazy there. 59% of the tickets, 67% of the cash is on the under in this game. The line has, I believe, moved slightly towards that as well. Taking a look at my projections for this game, I have to pick them. I have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen versus Philip Gustafsson. I have the goaltender advantage towards Gussie here, or my bad, towards UPL here. And at 6.5, I would lean under the total in this game. I have this game projected at a 6, and I have the Sabres as like a -105, -110 favorite in this game. So I have the Sabres slightly favored in this spot. I'm on Buffalo. I got them at +125 last night. They've won 4 of the last 5 meetings against these Minnesota Wild, and they've won 6 of 8 against them as well. They're coming in off of a 4-0 loss against Florida, and now they hit the road after a 4-game road trip. This could be a good little momentum changer potentially for the Buffalo Sabres, who did not have a good road trip. They played, Homestead. They played Dallas, St. Louis, LA, and Florida. Their only win was a 7-0 blowout win against the LA Kings. Now we have the Minnesota Wild. They're coming home after a 2-game road trip in Vegas and in Arizona. They've had a couple days off since then. They've won 4 in a row. And yes, I'm stepping in front of it here. I just think this line's too wide. And this is just strictly a price play for me. I don't think the Buffalo Sabres should be +125 in this game. I thought they should be closer towards a pick'em. So I took a shot here with Buffalo as a dog in this game, +125 Buffalo Sabres money line for me. Over 6.5, lean Sabres. Yeah, at 6.5, I lean under. Because other than the 7-0 game, Buffalo has not really been scoring since the All-Star break. 1-1-7-0. And Minnesota, they've been a 50-50 type of split team since the All-Star break. 2-1, 3-2, 5-3 against Vegas, and 3-1. Actually, they've been more of an under team. So actually, it makes my lean stronger towards the under. And Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen has actually been very good as of late, to a point where maybe that team total under for these Minnesota Wild are worth a look here. If we expect Luukkonen to be good here in this spot, and we lean I do lean the under 6.5. I want to take a look real quick what that team total is for Minnesota, where it would be -145 for the under 3.5. I would lean in that direction. It's a little bit juicy for my liking. But yeah, I would lean towards the under 3.5 team total with the Wild as well. We'll keep on moving on here. We have the Battle of the Sunshine State between the Florida Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. This could be a fun potential playoff matchup where we have the Panthers around -130 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. BetOnline has brought this down to a 113. It opened up at a 120. So we've actually had a line move towards Tampa Bay in this game so far on BetOnline. Line opened up at a 6.5 -116. It's now 6.5 at +102. So we've had a move towards the under here as well. let's take a look here. We have 68% of the tickets and 90% of the cash is on the under, and the line's moved in that direction. 52% of the tickets and 59% of the cash is on these Florida Panthers, and the line is not really moved in their direction. Taking a look at my projection for this game, I do have the Panthers as a favorite in this game. I have them around a minus 115 favorite in this spot. And I have this game projected around 6.15 goals, so it's a lean towards the under for me in this game. If I'm looking at the total, if I'm looking at the side in this game, something tells me that the Lightning are live in this game. It's just I don't see any betting value on the Lightning in this one at only plus 102. I was hoping for a little bit better of a price here on Tampa. But am I looking to get involved with this game? Probably not. This will be a fun matchup. This is like I mentioned, this could potentially be a second round matchup, or a first round matchup if Florida doesn't win the division, which I think Florida can very well win the division. Tampa coming in on 3 straight wins as well. They beat Columbus, Boston, and Colorado. So 2 very impressive wins there. We were on Tampa in the last game there. Florida coming in winning 4 in a row and 8 of their last 9. Their only loss was the first game out of the All-Star break. They lose 2-1 to Philadelphia. This is a damn good Florida Panthers team. And if only they weren't – what are they now? Where are they? They're 10-1 now to win the Stanley Cup. I'm going to move on them to win the Stanley Cup after the show. And I'm going to grab some of them to win the East as well. Potentially in this for the Florida Panthers. They're 10-1. I'm shocked that because they were 850 last night. I'm probably going to move on them to win the Stanley Cup. I was hoping for a 10-1 number on them, and we got it here. So Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup is probably something I'm going to be looking at here in a little bit. As for this game itself, it's 2 teams I'd rather bet on than bet against at the moment, so it's a pass. I could see a draw in this game. I can absolutely see a draw in this game. What's good, Nicholas Handy? I'm on the Bruins. Fair. I lean Bruins -1. It's just whether or not I want to get to it in this spot. We'll move on. Another game that I have action on pre-show. And it's not moved in my direction, but we'll get into it here. St. Louis Blues and Nashville Predators. Pick'em range, total of 6 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have this line open up at a -106 on both sides, and it's now up to a -108 for Nashville. So we've had a slight move towards the Preds in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at -120. It's down to a 6 at -115. Taking a look at the cash flow here in this spot, where we have the St. Louis Blues, 45% of the tickets and 59% of the cash, 2,800 tickets in. And then 66% of tickets, 62% of the cash is on the under, and the lines move slightly in that direction. The Blues have been really good as of late. They did lose that one game against Toronto, but they've won 3 out of 4 games to open up after the All-Star break. They beat the Sabres 3-1. They beat the Canadiens 7-2. They lose to the Maple Leafs, but they had a very impressive win as pretty big dogs against the Edmonton Oilers on Thursday night there, a 6-3 win. And on the flip side, Nashville, they're coming in off of getting embarrassed. And the more and more I look at it, the more and more I'm not as much of a fan of this play, because usually this would be an auto play on a team that's just got their ass whooped. And I bet St. Louis in this game. I mean, for me, bounce backs are for good teams, and Nashville's not a good team. For me, I get it. They're 27, 25, and 2 this year. They're, I think, flirting with a wild card spot, or they are in a wild card. No, they're flirting with a wild card spot. They're not in one at the moment. They're not a team that I'm like, yeah, they're going to bounce back, because I just don't see them as a good team. I think Saros has massively regressed this year. They're probably going to look to trade him. They're probably a team that's more of a seller at the deadline. And St. Louis is a team that I know a lot of people were not a fan of heading into the year. Don't look now. They're 29, 22, and 2. They have 60 points in 53 games. They're currently 4th in the Central Division. Now, are they going to catch Winnipeg? No. But are they going to probably hold off teams for the playoff race? I think so. They're the 8th seed right now, but they've got this Nashville team by 4 points with a game in hand. They got Seattle by 4 points with a game in hand. They got the Wild by 5 points with no games in hand. They've got the Flames by 5 points with a game in hand. So they win this game. They're pretty solid in there, especially against Nashville. If they could beat Nashville today, that would be huge, because they would then be 6 points up on Nashville with a game in hand on them for that last wild card spot, and they're going to hopefully start to run away with this playoff spot. I'm mad. I was looking at them to make the playoffs at plus like 200 during the All-Star break and didn't pull the trigger on it. And I think the Blues are a playoff team. They have consistent goaltending between Binnington and Hofer. This is a team I've really liked this year. They're 16-9-1 at home. They're really good at Enterprise Arena, and I think they're going to continue that winning ways here at home in this spot here. I'm on the Blues. I got them at $1.15 last night. Goal Arsenal. There you go. P's money line. I mean, yeah. If it was a pick 'em, I would look towards that. Yeah. Preds suck. Blues money line. And I know a lot of people were shitting on the Blues after that loss against Toronto, but that was one of the best defensive games we've seen Toronto play. I think the Blues are a better team than people think they are. And I've made a lot of money on the St. Louis Blues team this year. And I think we're going to continue doing that. And I think they could be a team that potentially like upset in the first round. Supness. What's good, Lex? We'll keep on moving on. We have 6 games left. This one was an interesting one here where we have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Anaheim Ducks. The Maple Leafs are minus 285 favorites in this game with a total of 6.5 in this spot. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. Or remember the line history first, where this game opened up at minus 315 for these Toronto Maple Leafs. It's now down to a minus 268. So a massive move towards the Anaheim Ducks, 40 cents. And the line opened up at a 6.5 minus 115. It's now a 6.5 at minus 114. So we've had a move to a 1 cent move towards the under, and we've had a big move towards the Anaheim Ducks. 75% of the tickets, 93% of the cash is on the Leafs. 1,800 tickets in. I am very interested in the Ducks in this game. The only problem is trusting the Ducks. They are coming in off of a 5-1 win, so maybe they bring that momentum into this game here, following a 5-0 loss against the Canadiens and a 5-3 loss against the Oilers, where they led for a little bit of that game. And they've been other than that blowout loss against Montreal, they've been competitive a little bit, this Anaheim Ducks team here. And I think they're worth a sprinkle here at a big plus price tag. They're on their 3rd game of a 4-game road trip. They will finish up their road trip in Buffalo on the 19th before heading home and playing Columbus. So at plus 235 or whatever the number is here, I think there's value on the Anaheim Ducks in this spot. Plus 235. I'm going to take a shot with them here. Going a little quack. Plus 235. Anaheim Ducks. I would like this play even more if this was one of those in the middle of the week type of games where it's like a Tuesday and you know that the crowd's not going to be crazy in Toronto. It being a Saturday, maybe it is, but it is Anaheim on the other side. So, and we've seen these two teams play once this year. It was a 2-1 overtime win for Toronto as minus 212 favorites. Toronto has been playing a little bit better as of late, but I'm going to take a shot at a big dog price here with the Ducks, plus 235 with Anaheim. I think they are a live dog here, at least more live than the plus 235 price tag maybe leads on. So I'll take a shot here, plus 235 with Anaheim. Wait till I bet this game, maybe. Over 2.5 goals first period. Not a bad look. I'm guessing it's a soccer player. Leafs puck line in the game. have fun. It's minus 115. I mean, I would lean more Ducks puck line at minus 105. I would lean more towards that direction. Ducks Leafs play down to their level. Yeah, I wouldn't shock anybody, especially Maple Leafs fans, that the Ducks come in and win this game. Because I mean, this is also the same Maple Leafs team that I believe got swept by the Blackhawks this year. Yeah, they got swept by the Blackhawks this year. They got swept by Ottawa this year. Are we sure that this is a team we could trust laying minus 285 at home? Simple answer is no, and I'm going to challenge them to beat me. Yeah, 3-2 type of game. I mean, then the plus 1.5 puck line is probably not a bad idea either. But it'll be perfect. I just got the a notification that it's going to be Jake Allen in net for these Montreal Canadiens. They just confirmed that, so let me punch that into my spreadsheet because I had Montembeault. Not really much of a difference for that, I think. There we go. So we have the Montreal Canadiens. They're hosting the Washington Capitals in this game. The Capitals minus 120 favorites in this spot, total of 6. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where this line opened up with the Montreal Canadiens, or with the Washington Capitals, my bad, minus 115 favorites. It's now a minus 116. So a 1 cent line movement towards Washington. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 1 even money. It's now a 6 at minus 107. So we've had a move towards the over, and we've had a slight move towards Washington. 82% of the tickets, 96% of the cash coming on the Capitals here, 1,900 tickets in. 56% of the tickets and 71% of the cash on the under in this game as well. I have the Capitals projected as a favorite in this game, but more like minus 110, minus 115. So I think this line's about right. I was hoping to get a nice plus price tag on the Montreal Canadiens in this game and taking them as a dog in this spot. I do think the Montreal Canadiens are live in this game. They've won 3 in a row against the Washington Capitals. These two teams just did play the first game out of the All-Star break on February 6th. The Montreal Canadiens won that game 5-2. Montreal since then has been kind of up and down. They lose 3-2 to Dallas, a close game there. They didn't beat. They got beat bad by the Blues 7-2. Then they beat up on the Ducks 5-0 before giving up 7 goals to the Rangers the other night. The Capitals are coming in off of back-to-back losses. They lost 3-2 to Vancouver, and they lost 6-3 to Colorado. And this is a Capitals team that started off the season well, but we all knew they were going to fall apart, and now they're sitting 12th in the East. They are 6 points behind the Red Wings for that last wild card spot, and they would need to jump not only the Red Wings, but the Devils, the Islanders, and the Penguins, who are all in front of them there. It's a tricky spot for them. I would only lean Montreal in this game. I just wanted a bigger plus price tag on them to make the move on this game. So it's going to be a pass from that aspect. The total, I have this game projected at 6.01 goals. So I do think the total is correct in this game as well. We do have one total on today's card, and it's the free pick video from last night, but nothing here in this one. Montreal dub. Washington is too old for them. I mean, yeah, I think they're one of the oldest teams in the league, along with Pittsburgh. The rebuilds for Washington and Pittsburgh are going to be long, dark years for them. Suzuki Show. Habs minus 1.5. Habs race to 2. Interesting look there. We'll move on. We've got 4 games left, and this one's a cool one. The New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. The Devils minus 140 favorites in this game. Total 6. And I said this is a cool one here because technically you can call this at, but we're going to put versus here. This is the Stadium Series game. We're in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. For this game, home of the New York Giants and the New York Jets. For this game, the outdoor game. We have, let's take a look at the line history in this game here. where we have this line opened up at a minus 125 for the Devils. It's now minus 134 for the Devils. So we've had to move towards New Jersey. Line opened up at a 6.5. It's down to a 6. So we've had to move towards the under, and we've had to move towards New Jersey in this game. 63% of the tickets and 56% of the cash is on New Jersey. Explains the line move towards them. 6,165 tickets in. 69% of the tickets, 64% of cash on the under, which explains the line move towards said under in this game. And taking a look at this game, I have this game projected for 6.17 goals, so I think that's correct. And I have the Devils projected as around a minus 130 favorite in this game. So I think all in all, the lines are correct here. This will be a fun game to watch because it's being played outdoors. But is this something I'm looking to bet? My numbers have this game pretty good. For a big card, I'm not trying to force plays as well. So this one was one of those games where I'll end up just staying off. I was leaning Flyers in this game. If I had to get to anything, it would be taking a shot with the dog with Philly in this spot. They are coming in off of that overtime loss against Toronto. But when you look at this Flyers team, as a dog, I mean, I can only look that way. The Devils have not been a team I particularly trust, and I have no intentions on trying to trust. So this is Flyers are nothing for me, but it's ended up going to be a nothing for me in this game. I know I'm kind of been a little bit boring during this card and passing an awful lot, but not much is appealing to me at the moment. I'll probably have plays in the next couple of games, though. Yeah, Man City, any place for Man City, whatever. Yeah, Devils money line. See it. I'm on the EIEIO Panthers. EIEIU Panthers. There you go. Devils puck line. Goal Arsenal. There you go. Philly and draw. The draw does seem very appealing for that game. An outdoor game draw. That could be fun. We've got 3 games remaining on this card. Winnipeg Jets are taking on the Vancouver Canucks in this game. Canucks minus 120 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. We have moved on this game already. We did a free pick video for this game last night, and let's get into it here. We have the Vancouver Canucks. They opened up here in this game. Let me get up my line history. At minus 135, it's down to a 117. This is a very interesting line movement, and it feels like a trap in this game. It feels like the Vancouver Canucks may be a little bit of a trap. Line opened up at a 6. It's down to a 5.5. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards Winnipeg, even though 83% of the tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Jets. This feels like a Jets spot. Actually here, but I moved on the under 6.5. I'm by the 5.5. I'm on the under 5.5 in this game. I have this game projected as the lowest scoring game of the day, 4.64 goals. We have a Jets team that's struggling to score a little bit and not putting up the greatest offensive numbers, and 2 of the best goaltenders in the league with Hellebuck and with Demko, 2 of the top best net caliber goaltenders at the moment, which I think could lead to a very nice goalie duel. And this is a game I would lean draw in as well, 1-1, 2-2 type of draw. I see a low scoring type of matchup here for it. And I think that can lend itself to a little bit of a draw here in this spot. So I lean draw, but I'm on the under 5.5. Under 5.5 here. Winnipeg and Vancouver. Let's see. Back to the chat. Miss you guys. Withdrew my last job. No chance was gonna. No job giving me a chance yet. That sucks, dude. It is what it is. Lean Jets. Yeah. Big Nick Earle, follow me, brother. You will win. Oh, with soccer. I don't mess with soccer. Yeah, I agree. Low scoring. There. We have 2 games remaining in this one. This one's a tricky one because I've got a couple questions I need answered. And one of them is, who's going to be in between the pipes for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight? Because I'm hearing it could potentially be the return of, who do you call it? Frederick Anderson, or it could be Spencer Martin. Spencer Martin, I absolutely love this play here. I'm going to move on it. And maybe I may up it a little bit and play a -1 line on this game. But we have the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. Golden Knights -115 favorites in this game. Seems very, very cheap. They open up at a -125. It's down to a 108. And then the opening line was a 6 at -115. It stayed there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 83% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Golden Knights, and the lines move towards the Canes. This is a tricky spot for the Canes. It's the second half of a back-to-back. I don't understand why the Canes are getting the market love, though, in this game. Spencer Martin's not been very good. And they're on a back-to-back against the Vegas Golden Knights, who are rested. And maybe and hockey is one of the only sports where I have no problem going up against a market move like this. I'm going to be on the Vegas Golden Knights in this game at -112. I think they're the better overall team. Give me Aiden Hill over Spencer Martin or Frederick Anderson, who hasn't played in 3 years, or Kochekov on a back-to-back. I think either situation plays out well. I think this line's just dead wrong, and if I'm falling for a trap, I'm falling for a trap. I like the Vegas Golden Knights in this game at -112. I've just moved on the Vegas Golden Knights here at -112. I don't understand why the line is this price, but sometimes in hockey, there are no traps, and it's just sometimes those plays are just, I don't want to say easy, but they make sense. So I'm going to be on the Vegas Golden Knights here in this game. Vegas Golden Knights for me, -112 in this spot. Maybe I'm falling for a trap, but Vegas here for me. Canes, good luck. I see enough advantages for me to take a shot with Vegas here, even at a suspicious line. We'll move on here. One last game on the card. We have the Blue Jackets as -147 road favorites. Now, I get it. This is not the greatest spot for the San Jose Sharks, but let's get into it here. Sharks have played actually pretty well since the All-Star break. Since they've come back after that long break, they look rested. Line opened up at a 125. It's up to a 143. So we've had a big line movement towards the Columbus Blue Jackets in this game. Line opened up at a 6 at +105. It's now a 6 at +104. So we've had 6.5 at +1. So we've got a 1 cent line movement towards the under here as well. Looking at the cash flow in this game, we have 84% of the tickets and 92% of the cash is on the Blue Jackets, 3,200 tickets in, which explains the line move towards Columbus in this game. We have 60% of the tickets and 56% of the cash is on the under in this game, which explains the 1 cent line movement towards the under in this spot. I'm looking at San Jose in this game. We've been on San Jose both games since the break. We were on them +2.5 against the Jets. They get the job done there. We were on them +2 against the Flames. They went outright. And now we're getting them here. I want it to be Kaapo Kähkönen in net here for this game. But my number for this game here is the Blue Jackets. I have this game at a pick'em. So we're getting what I have projected as a coin toss, and I'm going to get +127 on one side just because it's the San Jose Sharks. Yeah, sign me up for some San Jose at +127 in this game. Yes, I understand the San Jose Sharks are a bad team. We've made money back in them the last few games, and I think this is the team that they took that break, which was a ridiculously long break. They went from January 31st was their last game before the All-Star break to February 14th was their their first game back. Now, granted, this will be a third game in 4 days for these San Jose Sharks, so that's why it's probably not the greatest of spots. But on the opposite side here, on the flip side, I'm not laying $1.45, $1.50 on the road with Columbus Blue Jackets, and I see this as a spot where it's a weighted coin toss, where I'm getting +127 on one side. So I'll take a shot here with the Sharks to close out my card here at +127. I think this is just one of those line plays where the line is just wrong in this spot here. So Sharks for me to end the card here at +127. All I got in that for right now. Okay, more soccer. If I'm interested in a girl at my work, but she is 18 and I'm 36, am I wrong? Yeah. Over 6.5. I would lean under at the 6.5 number, but not playing that. We'll move on. Man City, good luck. Plays hard to get. Act's not interested, probably because she's not interested in somebody twice her age. Wouldn't view Vegas pricing as a trap as the public seeing Canes blow out the outs. That's fair. That makes a lot more sense why the line would have moved that in that direction. So, oh well, Nathan, you're lucky, Nathan, there. But that is the full card for today. Quick little recap, and then we will head on out. I'm very interested. Wow, that line's moved up to minus 170. That'll be enough to keep me off of the Bruins. The line moving up there. I'm on the Chicago Blackhawks at plus 163. I'm on the Calgary Flames. I got them at minus 130. I'm on Buffalo at plus 125. I am on the Blues at minus 115. I'm on the Ducks at plus 235. I would lean Flyers if you want some action on the outdoor game. Under 5.5, Vegas, Winnipeg, Vancouver. Vegas Golden Knights money line minus 112. San Jose Sharks money line plus 127. Back to the chat for one more, and then we will head on out. Thoughts on favorite after 4 p.m. college basketball game today. Let's take a look here. There's the group. Utah State grades out the best for after that. Utah State, Baylor, and Gonzaga would be the three I would look at if you're looking for after 4 o'clock. I also like NC Central, but I don't know what time that game is as well. I like NC Central money line outright against Howard as a 4-point dog. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. But that is going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching, and we'll be back here same time, same place tomorrow for another edition of the Euro Sports Bet Show. Good luck, guys.